Chapter 1 Episode 5. Inconsistent Logic. After dinner, we were chatting over tea when Elise said, "Ryoma, have you decided on what you want to do from here?" "I'm unsure, to be honest. Do I stay? Or move elsewhere?" My research had settled for now, my head finally cooling after seeing enough slimes to fill an entire room. Meeting people like this also left me wondering about certain things. Things like ingredients and seasonings for cooking. That's why I figured it was about time to go and see the world. But what should I say? A child with an established background as an antisocial recluse wants to go and see the world. That would be too unnatural. Alright, it was time to pull out the almighty excuse. The grandparents told me, "Live happily in town. My current life is content." But I started to think, grandparents might not wish for me to live here, Ryoma. A solemn air fell upon the room when Reinbach closed his eyes and said, "Then, how about you leave the forest with us?" What was this person saying? Today was our first time meeting each other. No. Our family is a ducal house. Covering the living necessities of one person is no difficulty. Not to mention how it'd be a waste to have a talented tamer like you hidden away so deep in the forest like this. You may not like towns, but won't you try leaving the forest a bit? I had never expected to receive an invitation like that. The others around me were also giving me kind looks that said they agreed. Everyone was so kind, it made my heart hurt. We will be going to stay in a town called Gimel tomorrow, then return home in 2 months. It will be possible to return here, so would you like to join us for our journey? Thinking about it carefully, I knew nothing about this world. Though the gods had given me basic knowledge, it wasn't as though I had seen things with my own eyes. I hadn't even known what the outside world thought about slimes. There may be many more examples like that. These people seemed like nice people, and it'd be better than being alone, right? And if I didn't go now, I'd probably drag my feet for another 2 to 3 months without moving. That would be nice. I will probably cause you trouble. But would you allow me to join you? Yes. So you're willing to come? Because I myself started thinking about leaving the forest. I see. You'll have to prepare for the journey. Let's extend our departure to tomorrow afternoon. Do you think you can get ready in that time? Until morning is fine. If I use item box, I can bring it all. Oh my, you can use item box at that young age? That's amazing. Really? I had heard that many people could use item box though. Grandma said it was useful, so I learned it. I was told many could use it. Oh, no. Even if it's basic magic, it's a higher element magic, you know. While there are many people that can use item box when you consider your age, that's plenty impressive. Not again. Was I missing information somewhere? Or was the information I had not adjusted for age? This meant I had to be careful not to mess up. But I was also quite lucky to come across people who could supplement my general knowledge like this. It seems like Master Ryoma has talents in areas other than magic too. You have a very exciting future ahead of you. That's true. If you have anything you want to study other than taming magic, let us know, okay? We'll teach you. Being able to study alongside Ryoma sounds fun. Thank you very much. After wrapping things up with a word of thanks, Eliaria and her household staff offered to help me, so we started with cleaning the worst room first. Whoa, what is this room? It's filled with weapons and armor. Just sorting through all this is going to be hard work. Is that a pelt at the back? What are these bags in the corner that look like trash? I had brought them to the room I was using for storage. It had everything I had gathered over the last 3 years, including the belongings of bandits and things. I sometimes cleaned the weapons and armor so those were organized to a degree, but everything else was basically piled upon each other. Item box. All of it. Everything will be put away. The bags in the corner are bandit loot. What's inside? Dunno. You mean you haven't checked? Defeating bandits without checking your spoils is like risking your life for nothing. You know, I wasn't really interested. I responded to Hughes's words with a single phrase, but there were several reasons for that. Firstly, most bandits' belongings were dirty and smelly, with nothing of particular value. At worst, there would be nothing other than rotten food and trash. Some of them had money, but that was worthless without going into town. In the end, the amount of effort wasn't worth the gains, so at some point I stopped checking them properly and just threw them in here after the slimes were done cleaning. In that case, would it be better to examine the contents first? True, it'd be better to just chuck it out if it's just trash inside. How about we split up the separation and storage steps to get it done at the same time? I agreed to Around and Jill's suggestions. So Aria and the two maids were assigned the duty of separating the bandits' belongings. If I was tasked with separating things, we wouldn't be able to get both jobs done at once. Thus, we started working on throwing everything I had into the black hole. From what I heard partway through, there was some surprisingly valuable equipment, and the pelts would sell for a pretty penny too. Even more unexpectedly, a bag containing a hefty 40 medium gold coins was discovered. From what I knew, that was a fairly large amount of money, which I was grateful for now that I was heading to the town. However, considering what happened with the slimes, the accuracy of my knowledge was a concern. I should probably have them teach me the value of things, just to be sure. We continued to work while I pondered over such things, and once we were done I had the cleaner slimes and scavenger slimes finish off the rest. I then offered the now clean room to the escorts of the ducal house to rest in. You sure? Do you have anything else you need help with? No, the rest can do alone. Just ingredients and medicines left. Medicines shouldn't be meddled with by amateurs. All right, call us if you need anything else. Thank you very much, Camille. It's fine, it's fine. We should be thanking you for the room. Having an enclosed room to rest in is more than we could hope for. After I gave them my thanks, everyone began to prepare to sleep. Now, all that was left were the basic items the three gods had given me when I first came to this world, as well as... That's right, could I bring my slimes along too? There was no way I could leave them. I should ask. They should still be awake at this time. Mr. Reinhardt, Lord Reinbach. What is it, Ryoma? Can I bring my slimes on the journey? There'll be a total of 17 slimes. Of course. Nothing wrong with a tamer bringing his familiars. There's plenty of room in the carriage, we'll save some space for them. Oh, that was a relief. Thank you very much. When I said that, they smiled at me in reassurance. They really were wonderful people. If I were to give an example in Japan, it would be like asking someone who agreed to let me hitchhike if I could bring my 17 pets with me too. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't agree. 1 or 2 was one thing, but 17 was way too many. Not that I had a driver's license to begin with. I really couldn't be more grateful to the Duke's family. Oh yes, I should give my greetings to them before I leave too. With that thought, I stood up and headed to the training room at the very back of my home. The room itself was nothing but an empty space, but the wall across from the entrance had statues of the gods carved into the rock. Idolatry was not forbidden in this world, and creating your own statues of the gods wasn't a crime either. It was even recommended in some areas where the most devout worshippers would use a miniature statue bought from the church as a model to carve their own little by little as they prayed every day. I should seal the entrance with earth magic in case someone came along. There we go. Sitting cross-legged before the statues, I meditated for a few minutes before opening my eyes and beginning to speak. Another day has passed safely. I'm sure you know this already, because you're gods, but I'll be going out for a while with the guests who visited today. Apparently our destination will be a town called Gimel. It's finally time for my first journey after coming to this world. Now I can go to a church and keep my promise. However, I don't know when I can come back again, so I'm taking all my things just in case. If I don't end up returning, I'll make more statues in my new place. See you later, then. Once I was done, I stood up and unsealed the entrance to leave the training room. It seemed like the only ones I couldn't talk to normally were other people. If I couldn't talk to the gods' statues, I would have noticed a lot earlier than I did. Maybe I was nervous. Well, whatever. Now that everything was ready, all that was left to do was wait for the morning and leave with my slimes. Time to sleep. Thus, I crawled under the covers of my bed. I wonder what the town's like. My mind was so busy imagining the unseen towns. I found it a little harder to sleep than usual.